Hey, it's Fee Mak here on the MoveIt podcast, and I'm catching up with some of the mentors who took place, some of the mentors who were a part of the MoveIt, the dance-off TV series. Please help me welcome Kumari, Suraj, and Damien, Anyasi. Hey guys. Yes, I love that.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. Post-production, post-filming of this show. But I want to know more about you guys before we get into, the nooks and cranny of the show. What's your relationship with dance? When did you first discover it? What are your first memories of dance, Damien?
Okay, so I used to be a musician. I studied as a musician, as a vocalist. And when I graduated from music school, I wanted to be able to sing and dance. I thought it was a good trait to have because Cisco was big at the time and stuff like that. We all wanted that silver hair, man.
Did you dye it?
I didn't, but I had my hair. I did have my hair. I think I had it
He did.
purple once.
Oh.
But not what it was, like a purple tinge
Okay.
rather than shock purple.
Bro, you be coming out with gems.
I'm serious, the Esco and stuff. So yeah, but I didn't have that silver platinum look. We knew that was going to be expensive, so me and the boys, we didn't go for that. But yeah, Cisco was popular and stuff, so I wanted to be able to sing and dance and move and everything on stage. So I joined the group, and it's funny, I was working in retail, and one of my friends, he was cleaning this glass, but he was doing like these glides and stuff. These like
hilarious. I
MJ
love
glides.
that.
I was like, and this is when Nike Prestos first came out, so he was looking triple smooth. And I was like, bro, how'd you learn to do that? Because I go to this group called 2020. Over in Ladbroke Grove, come. So I started going to 2020. That's where I started dancing. Used to travel across town twice a week.
That is a
from
trek.
Woolwich to Ladbroke Grove. Yeah, twice a week to go and dance with 2020. Big up Monica. Actually, Yan from Deja Vu, we were in the same group.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were in the same group. So yeah, Yan can get down. If you know Yan, you know that already. But so that's how I got into dance. Then I started doing some breaking and started doing some hip hop, and over time I've done a few different things, and I'm still so curious about every style. It's dance is wonderful.
That is good that you still have that curiosity, because there are so many styles and you're not allowing yourself to be boxed in, which is, but yes, Kumari, you get it. What was your relationship with dance?
Oh, my relationship with dance is complicated.
Oh.
I started dancing when I was 3. I watched the movie Flashdance, and it had breaking and jazz and ballet all in one movie. And I was like, cool, that's what I want to do. Not necessarily in life, but as far as my body was concerned. And I felt when I was a kid, I'm very neurodivergent, so I had a tough time expressing myself. And I wanted to learn as many dance styles as I could so that I could communicate through music how I was feeling.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, it was good therapy until I became an adult and then paid for therapy. But yeah, so I started the journey. I just wanted to study. I wanted to learn from as many people as I could learn from. I figured out who the sources were of the dance styles that I wanted to learn. And I've studied over 15 different dance languages. And from their sources, if those sources were living, or if not, from a reputable passed down legacy situation. And I've loved dance my whole life. It's been beautiful. And I went from taking those languages and then becoming a choreographer and being able to tell stories and being able to make humans feel emotions with my creations. And what else? I don't know. I think that's a lot. That's enough for now. That's enough to chew on.
Yeah. And I'm chewing because I'm like, come on, wow, you guys. I love that you studied the dance styles as well and the sources, because it's so easy to be ignorant and just be like, well, I like this dance, I'm just gonna learn it. I'm not gonna actually go back to the foundations and understand.
I think that's also part of my journey as an ambiguous multi-ethnic person as well. Because you can't see all of the ethnicities on my face, or I'm non-binary, you can't see my gender all the time. Dance was one of those things that let me explore authenticity from its source. And if I'm gonna learn locking, I learned locking from the Lockers.
Yes.
Like,
who else would you learn it from?
Okay, I started breaking and then learning from members of Rock City Crew. Like, wow. When I learned things, like hip hop was Elite Force and Mop Tops, and and on and on and on through all the styles that I've done, both culturally, like street styles, club styles, whatever. But I needed to understand what the perspective of the people was when this dance was created. And it was important to understand its origin and authenticity. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it right.
Yeah.
I would not be doing it right. I would be regurgitating something and living adjacent to it, but not living it. And it's a lifestyle. And also being American as well, like a lot of these styles come from America.
Yeah.
And understanding like our social politics at the time of why things were created. Like a lot of people forget that locking was created and it was a dance that really brought black and white people together. Whacking was a dance that brought queer people and straight people together. Like there's a lot of things and dynamics in dance that people forget when they don't research it, and if they're just watching a couple TikTok moves for a couple seconds.
Not the TikTok.
But I'll leave that there.
No, but you're really spilling, because it is true. There is a lot of history in dance that maybe just goes over people's heads.
And living history that's accessible.
Yes.
Like, don't try and find that person after they've passed. They're here now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That is
especially
very true.
like with like black and brown dance as well, and like cultural dance styles and things like that. It's like, if this person is still alive, make that trek. When I was 18 years old, I went to Rennie Harris's Pure Movement Illadelph Festival in Philly, and went to Rocksteady Crew anniversaries, and I was pulling all my coins together to get to the source, because that was the only thing that made sense to me. If I'm gonna learn this, I'm not gonna learn it from Susie Q from down the way that's gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
And no diss to Susie Q, I'm sure she's kicking it, but you just have to chew on the source.
Yes.
That's all.
And you know what else, Murray? It's easier now to contact these people because you just have to go in their gram. Most of them have got gram.
Right.
Yeah.
Just send a
You can
DM.
go straight to them.
Yeah.
You know, so I agree.
And OGs love love. Like, OGs love love. Give people their flowers while they're still alive.
Yeah.
That's another podcast.
And it is. Damien, you were nodding the whole time Kumari was talking. Like, yeah. Can you talk to me about your journey through studying the style that you got into?
Yeah. Similarly to Kumari, for me, going to the source or credible people who have lived an experience I might not have been able to live. Like, I didn't grow up in Brooklyn in the early 1990s. I was listening to the music, but I went to a private school in Eltham.
Wow.
I was getting my stuff from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't even dancing then when I was at secondary school. So you know, to train with Link and Stretch and everything, I'm like, this is the realness. You can feel it. And when you love a music, you in turn tend to love a form.
Right.
And it means that you can embody that form more richly. You're like, I love this sound. I love this movement. It goes together. And then you just become, you don't have to brute force, oh, I'm a hip hop dancer now. I want to look hip hop, because as soon as that look at, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't help
Started
it.
moving.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't know it was worn in my Biggie Smalls, you know you've heard that somewhere, and as soon as it touches you, you're like, I'm there.
Yeah.
You know? So trained with Elite Force. I remember I did was it 36 Chambers in New York. I happened to be in New York for something else. And 36 Chambers was on, so I went to do that training program. Yeah. I mean, in terms of whacking, I'm sure we'll talk about whacking a little bit in a little while. Having the good fortune to train under Tyrone and Shabadoo and Archie and Dallas, like different people that have been so important in whacking culture. I only wish I got to meet like Lonnie and Tinker, Andrew, like people I'm only ever going to see on video. But I know, as you mentioned, Mari, about feeling that lifestyle of people who have lived, you know, walked certain steps,
Right.
so that all of us get to enjoy these styles. I know there are still people that I would love to have met that I don't get a chance to. I don't get a chance to now. So I think it's super important to try and do that.
And even though you won't get a chance to meet them, you're living proof of their seed that was once planted a very, very long time ago. Do you know what I mean? They had an idea, they had a vision, and they probably never thought it'd go on for like however many generations, and here we are, you know, still talking about how important it is that these people have so much impact on dance and culture. Talk to me about the kind of students you guys were when you were training, when you were at dance. Kumari, what kind of student were you? Because I feel like you come across as very confident. You're very intentional. You've done your research. You're ready to learn. What student were you?
I also am a Leo rising, so it was very raw. I was like, put me in the class now. I remember one time I was crying to my mom. I was like, I have to be a dancer. I'm also a Cancer, so it was very emotional. But no, I was a bit masochistic when I was a kid. I was like, let me beat up my body because I know that I worked. And the pain, it builds muscle, and I'm gonna be this amazing thing. And I was super dedicated. I was in my head a lot as well, which a lot of children are. Like when you're finding your identity and figuring out who you are, you feel uncomfortable in a classroom full of people. But at the same time, I was like, nah, I'm not here for them. I'm here for me. And I want to understand this language so that I can really express myself, because I don't have the words yet. I'm also a little tongue-tied. Like, I speak slowly. At that time, I had a southern drawl because we moved from the South. And it's just like dance. Not that I wasn't outgoing. I've always been outgoing. But I was very dedicated. I was very dedicated, very passionate. I loved it. I loved the way it felt, because before I knew what endorphins were and before I knew what a release was, that's what I was experiencing. So I was feeling before I understood the words to speak what I was feeling. And I feel like it's necessary for kids to connect with their bodies to understand yes, no, good, bad, like just the basics of regulating your emotions.
That's so true, because your body does tell you how you're feeling. Like when you're stressed, your body will shut down. And it's like, I can't do anything anymore. You gotta rest.
So
and that is good.
Dance really teaches you to be in your body. And I was just very like, let me learn as much as I can. I was also very ambitious too. So like I've started cruise in my adulthood. Like when I was a kid, I started cruise too. In my high school, we went to anyways, it was a whole thing. But I was very dedicated to not only my growth, but once I started to grasp the understanding of education, I started passing that on at a very young age, and just passionate about like community and being able to dance with others. And like, I know this move, but if I don't have somebody I can skip around with, then what's the point?
Right.
So I was in it. I was in it to win it. And I think the last dance style that I tried to learn that I let go was tap, because I think I started too late and I don't have the feet.
I knew he was gonna say tap for some reason. I love tap.
I love tap. My favorite movie of all time is Tap.
Wow.
The best, hands down, the best dance sequences on film, Tap. Ooh. Okay, sorry. But with Tap, I discovered I had muscles I didn't know I had before. So I was like, I'm 21. This ain't happening.
But even thinking about Tap, like it still has like a little bit of hip hop flavor, like the way they kind of move their bodies with their feet and the sound. Yeah,
because I mean, if you understand like the origins of tap and hoofing, it's a Black American expression.
Yes.
Like it's got swag. It will always have swag, no matter what, no matter how it's transcended. That's always going to be the root and the origin.
That's it. It's got that flavor, that seasoning.
Yes.
Damien, what kind of student were you when you were training?
I guess. I suppose I'm going through a few different directions that I could take my response.
It's cool. Take us with.
So when I was in my first group, I was hot and hungry. Hot and hungry. Things were going well. I was feeling good. I was with like-minded people, and I was like, okay, this is the right place to be. And then time went on, go to breaking, cool. And then I guess maybe 3-4 years into being a dancer, I had a mentor. His name was Tiny, and he really helped me with my breaking. He'd give me critique, he'd give me feedback. He said, "Dave, you could do this, you could do that, etc., etc." And he was extremely valuable. And then a year or two later, Tiny passed away in an accident.
Oh, sorry.
Passed away in a tragic accident. And what a lot of people don't know is the T at the beginning of my name is for tiny. That's where Tin Mantis comes from. That's where Tenacious comes from. Anywhere you see the T, the TDA is the Tenacious, Damien, Anyasi.
Wow.
The Tin comes from Tiny, it comes from him.
The ancestor veneration continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anywhere you see my name, I honor the coach.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that overall, across my dance timeline, I actually feel like I'd like people to have been harder on me as a trainee in any discipline that I've enjoyed, or people that I've worked with, stuff that I've been doing. Because I think maybe I have always spoken with a clarity that says, oh, Dame gets it.
He knows it, yeah.
Yeah. Or like when it comes to performance, I'm always ready to rock.
Right.
But actually, I feel like if I'd had a bit of, stay on this for another month and then do that. And I don't think I've ever been, I think I've been open to anybody to speak to me, like any age, where they come from, even if they don't dance, to be like, I like what you're doing, but you don't look like your friend. Like, I would take advice from anyone.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's because, home life as a youngster, there wasn't much guidance going on. Pops weren't about so much. My mum used to work nights. Mum's a midwife.
Yeah.
So really, my siblings and I, we kind of figured out the stuff, in our own way. But I definitely think if I'd had some guidance or even been challenged on a couple of my decisions or directions or things that I was doing, my path may have been a bit different. Maybe there's things I would be enjoying now that I am not enjoying, or things I am enjoying now that I might not have ever experienced. You never know where you're gonna end up.
Absolutely.
But yeah, on the whole, I do love hard work.
Yes.
I do love the graft. I demand it of my team. I lead by example. When I'm teaching, if I'm not on break, you're not on break.
Ooh,
and so I think
as it should be.
Yeah. And so I think that as a student, I've actually always, I love the hard graft because it's the only way.
I agree. I fully agree. And we come from an age of like, think of all the great 80s dance movies with Debbie Allen. He's like, you want fame? Well, this is what it costs.
Isn't it?
Like,
are you willing to work?
Right, exactly. So we come from a little bit of the end of that era where it's like you actually have to put in blood, sweat, and tears for this. It's not 15 minutes on TikTok. I love TikTok. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying to all the TikTokers out there who are fabulous. But like, it takes work. It's not microwavable.
Yes.
And you need to feel it. And it's not always going to be pretty.
And that's why you guys have longevity. It is because you put in that work. And Damien, you mentioning the fact that you wish you had pushed yourself a little bit more. When did you have that realization? And once you had it, did you start pushing yourself, even though there might not have been someone around you to push you?
Yeah. I think turning point for me was the 2012 Olympics. I was on the choreographic team for the opening ceremony. And that was an amazing 6 months.
Yeah, wow, by the way.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good. And we had, let me get this right, we had like 800 volunteers, adult volunteers who work for the NHS and different places. We had 400 children who were volunteers. And then there were professional dancers, aerialists, skaters, Lindy hoppers, breakers, all kinds of people. And what I discovered during that process was not only that I could come up with great ideas and had great vision, but also I could make environments where highly trained professionals and amateurs who were worried about going the wrong way, all they've got to do is turn around in a circle, but make the scene so that everything was working, everyone felt that they were part of the same team to create the greatest show on earth.
Yep.
I was like, after the show was finished, I was like, Dame, you can really do something.
You did that.
Yeah.
You did.
You can really do something. And there was another moment for the same occasion. On the week of the actual Olympics, the opening ceremony, the opening's on the Friday evening. On Monday, in the audience, we had like 20,000 people. So you had to do like a test run in the arena.
Right.
20,000 people on the Monday and like 40 or 60,000 people on the Wednesday. These are like maybe Transport for London Workers, different people. But it's training you to be like, it's what the show's going to be like.
Yeah.
I tell you something, when we were in that tunnel, I was playing one of the like evil characters. When we were in that tunnel and I was next to my boy David, we were in that kit on show night. So this is the live, going out BBC, all of that stuff. And we were in that tunnel. I was like, I know this show back to front. I'm just going to do what I did yesterday. The only difference is my mum gets to watch this evening. And it was amazing. It was amazing. It was, yeah. I remember, I think that moment in the tunnel was especially big to me because I think 3 weeks before we did a run and there's a part where we have to run onto the stage after jumping over this, climbing over that and make it onto the stage for a certain point, and I didn't make it. I didn't make it in time. I remember looking at the other dudes like, there's no way I'm not making it on show night.
Yeah.
You've got
We're
to
going to be here.
Yeah.
So I set up what I call. So the characters we were playing are called Dementors, like Dementors from like Harry Potter.
Right.
That week I set up what I call Dementor Dojo.
Okay.
Which meant that me and whoever else wanted to come, we would start training typically at I think 8 o'clock. Our call time was 8 o'clock, and I turned up at 6:30. So whoever wants to start training early, we're coming to do this at 6:30. Or if we started at 10, it was 8:30, something like that, 8 o'clock. And I would set up like an obstacle course in the massive studio. We'd run over this, go under that, dive over this, and it was like circuits.
Wow.
Because I was like, I'm not making
Not
it on
missing
show
this
night.
point. I'm not missing my cue.
You know what I mean? And I was supposed to be one of the leaders of this operation. Like, best believe I'm there.
Yeah.
And so it just occurred to me now. So I made this like military operation so that whoever wanted to be hard could come and be hard.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something like that. Things like that. Finding that level, extra space in myself to motivate, lead, deliver, and execute. I was like, Dame, you have no ceiling.
Right.
And that was probably the turning point.
That's such a good story.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, why you guys have been chosen to be mentors on this MoveIt, the dance off show.
Ooh.
This is the reason why. Like, now I'm like, okay, I get it. Kumari, as a leader,
Yes.
where did you first get your experiences from? Like, when was the moment you're like, I'm actually a leader? Like, I can teach, I can choreograph. You mentioned earlier about, being able to give people notes and stuff like that. Where did that come from?
I was 6 years old.
Right. No shade. Actually, my mom will tell you that I was ordering her around on how to put my tea parties together for my birthday. So
There we go.
I think I'm a natural born leader, whether I want to be or not. And that's a weighty scale.
Yeah.
But I think my first, like, okay, bitch, you got this, was, sorry, you could take that out. But I had a nonprofit called Dance for Peace, and I went to South Africa. Oh my gosh, how I even got to South Africa was wild in the first place. That's another story. I don't know if we have time. But anyways, I was doing a program for the kids down there, and it was a dance theater piece. Never in my life have I done a theater piece at this point.
Wow.
I was 20 years old. And it was about 3 things that they face on a daily: AIDS, drug abuse, and racism. So I created a hip-hop theater piece about those things and different segments. I had like 20 dancers from the community and trained them in like 6 to 8 different dance styles. Choreographed this theater show. I actually found the book that I wrote all these notes out in.
Wow. What was in it?
Boy, my penmanship was on point.
Come on.
But it was just detailed, like choreographic movements, lighting cues, like the storylines behind every set and the emotion, the intention, what was going to happen. I was 20 years old. Wow. Like, nobody told me to go do this. It's not like I got an offer to do this.
Right.
My first big teaching job overseas was South Africa. And only because, mind you, all I had on my resume at the time when I was like 19 was all the teachers that I had trained with. I didn't have any experience.
Wow.
But I was like, this is the knowledge I come from. This is what I want to share with y'all. Will you have me? And I chose South Africa because I was a nanny at the time, and while the kids were down, Oprah was on TV and she was sending people to South Africa. And I said, if Oprah likes it, then it's got to be good.
Right.
And so I found a bunch of dance studios in South Africa, put my little tiny resume in to 40 different studios, got one offer and went with it. Wow. That was it. So that was my first time making it to South Africa, just because I was like, I want to travel. There's 3 things that I decided when I was a teenager that I wanted to accomplish after watching Wrecking Shop live in Brooklyn with Mop Tops.
Yep.
I was so taken by how these men created this movement out of lived experience, not from watching anything. I was watching them, but they didn't watch anything. So the 3 things I wanted to accomplish after watching that was to be an innovator of a dance style, to travel the world and dance, and to be a part of dance history. So the travel the world and dance part brought me back to South Africa and working on this. After my first trip to South Africa, I had such a heart for South African dancers, and it was such a beautiful exchange because I was the first choreographer and dancer to bring house, whacking, and Vogue to the country as movements. Wow. And now my students from that era are now the top dancers, studio owners, and choreographers in the country. Oh my gosh. And I'm hella proud of that. And now South African dance is its own situation across the world, which had nothing to do with any of that. But it's so beautiful to see a culture that embraced me enough to want to learn from me, and also gave me the exchange of teaching me Pansula, Kwaito, all of their traditional dances, all their hood dances, and just took me in as family. But that was the exchange that taught me that how powerful leadership can be. Yes. How powerful it can be for your humanity to understand who you are and to be humble enough to share what you have and also to receive what is being given to you in the same token. So that show ended up being still talked about today. Who knows where the footage is, but
you gotta find it.
I wish. But those dancers from that show are now the top dancers, choreographers, and studio owners of the country and choreographers of the country, and I'm very proud.
Yes.
Regardless of any of my commercial success, I think my greatest success is the impact I've had on helping people realize their own transformative power. Period.
And that's so deep. You can't teach things like that. The projects that you guys have worked on, the people you've worked on, you guys have created moments in history that cannot be taken away from you. That leads me to my point of what makes a good mentor, because I feel like mentorship is so powerful. You have a responsibility to whoever you're mentoring. You want to lead them in the right direction. You want to guide them as well. What makes a good mentor? Why did your students connect with you on the level that they did, Kumari? What was it about you that you feel helped you fulfill that?
I think you'd have to ask them. But I think from what I've been told, people are drawn to what I do. And also I come with a bit of compassion and kindness. I'm firm. Don't fuck with me. And I'll be serious with my standard of excellence because that is what I was taught from my teachers. And I just, like you said, it's a responsibility. You have somebody's life in your hands, essentially. You could say something because you're having a bad day and it could totally affect the core of that young person around you.
So true. That
will change the course of their decision making. That's major. And I've had people do that to me as well. And I've encountered a lot of bullying and gaslighting and erasure in this journey of dance. And those things have also fueled me not to do that to other people.
Right.
So being a mentor is a heavy, heavy responsibility that I don't take lightly. And like I said, all of that, but with compassion. You have to understand the humanity in somebody else who's just trying to make it happen for themselves and doesn't know where they're going or what they're doing. So, and because you've been there to a degree with your experience, you can share some of yours and hoping that it helps them make their own decisions.
Yeah.
Because it's really up to them. But being a mentor is about guiding decisions and showing people what their options are.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Showing what they, because a lot of them don't know. They're not aware. Maybe they're ignorant. Maybe they just can't be to do the research, and it's
Yeah.
just up to you to provide that.
I didn't
space
know
for
what
them.
my options were. Like literally, Oprah said South Africa, so I went to South Africa.
You said, I'm going.
I just knew I needed to travel. And everything I've done, like I've made my own mistakes. But had I had a mentor who was like, no, baby, go right, not left. You know, maybe go up, not down. And just to open the door of opportunity to options, I think that's the biggest thing because, like you said, kids don't know they have choices.
Yeah.
Choices.
And it's so true.
Turn.
Yeah. Damien, you earlier mentioned your mentor, Tiny, and the impact that he's had on your life to the point where you add a T to all the things. What is being a mentor for you?
I think, I mean, Tiny was such a bright character. Anybody in his company enjoyed being in his company. He was the founder of La Familia, Breaking Crew. Anyone that's been around breaking, they know La Familia. Like, yeah. I think for me, actually being a mentor to a person, I think a strength is humility.
Right.
Humility is important as a mentor because sometimes the person that needs your mentorship, they're telling you what they need in some way. Sometimes they are. Sometimes people you just need to tell them, do this, do that. But some people actually either by something they keep doing or something they always overlook or something. Sometimes the person, your mentee is telling you, I need this, and I don't know how to do it. And maybe they're not vocalizing it. And I think if you have humility and you're like, let me see, who is this person before me? Can I help them? Do I recognize what they may need? And if I can't help them, do I have the humility to go find someone who can?
Yes.
Period.
Because that's also contributing.
True.
Yeah.
That's also contributing. You know, we were speaking at village and stuff the other day.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a village to have an impact. And if our village, if my personal village is all the people that I've learned from, the shows that I've done, the things that I've made and stuff like that, and I still don't have something that can help a person, I've got to go to the wider village.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm invested in that person's moment, in their change. And if you see the impact, when you see the change in them and you're like, I went out on a limb and looked at the results.
Yes.
On your darkest day, you can go in your heart, find that feeling and be like, actually, I'm doing something out here.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. For me, I think mentorship, both people take
Yeah.
and both people give.
Yeah.
And both people grow.
It's like parenting.
It is.
It actually is. Like, whether I have my own biological children in this world or not, I've got thousands of kids.
Basically.
Thousands. And the ones that I've had since the beginning are now like in their 30s and we're the best of friends. So it's a beautiful, I think that's also a beautiful part to it too. Like having somebody from when they're young and being their friend essentially throughout their life and watching that blossom as we all age. Like that's another beautiful reward, I think, of the whole process.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to the hard work and the investment you put in them, because no one ever forgets that teacher that gave them that one piece of advice or planted that seed. Like, I believe in you. You know, you're going to go out there and do great things. No one ever forgets those teachers and those people. Do you know what I mean?
I've got a student I'm thinking of now. Young man, started teaching him in primary school. Now he's, I don't know, he's got to be 18, 19.
Wow.
And he messaged me on Gram. He said, Damien, I want to start teaching. Please, can you give me some guidance, some information? Dude, I'm messaging you back tonight. Because if something in how I've taught him, he's like, this is how you teach.
Yeah.
Look at the impact it's made on me. I've got to do my thing.
100%.
Yeah. And now just to cut you, I'm like, Dame,
You got to take it back.
Yeah. Get back to him.
Yeah.
Get back to him, because even if he solved it, there's something there that made him come to you about
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
And that's important.
That is very, very important. And in terms of students or the people that you choose to mentor, how do you go about finding and discovering that talent?
Oh, as far as the show is
As
concerned?
far as the show is concerned.
Okay, thanks. Because I'm not doing this every day.
As far as MoveIt, the dance off is concerned.
Okay. You want to take that? You go first.
Kumari's like, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, how do we go about finding the talent?
Yeah, discovering the talent, scouting for talent.
Yeah, I mean, looking for people with spark. I think we'd like to see people who remind us of us.
Okay.
I think typically most people are like that, you know. Things
As far as what, like ambition or drive or style or
it
vibe?
could be any of those things, I suppose. It could be any of those things, you know. I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people like techno music.
Right.
It's not for me. So if there's a red hot techno dancer out there, I might not find them.
Okay.
But I'm sure they're there.
Yeah.
You know? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess we like people who we see something of ourselves in them. Mm-hmm. And I know that the mentees that I have, Nalini, she had such a bright spirit that I was like,
she reminded me of me. No shade. Oh. I'm not taking that away from him at all. But when I was listening to her talk, she's like, I'm 16, I don't see what I want, so I fly people in that I want to train with. I was like,
fair enough.
Continue. Sorry.
No.
But
That's true.
To add to that,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. Nalini was a super bright spirit. And I mean, her movement language, I'd be stretching a long time.
Ooh,
to do the things Nalini's doing.
Bruh.
Really?
When she put it over her shoulder and flicked her toe.
You'll see it. You're going to see it. Yeah.
Wow.
You'll see it. And I remember seeing her do that on Gram. It's even better in real life.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, because...
I'm even trying to picture it right now. I'm like, I don't even know what's over the toe.
Listen, foot punch shoulder, wiggle the toe.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
But whilst looking back at the person.
Yes!
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Whilst
I'd have
looking
to go
back
home.
at the person.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a moment in time. But yeah, that was Nalini. And then with Gary, Gaz the Mad, for him, I think because of my love for punking and whacking, watching somebody who really embraces expression and usage of space and storytelling and is not afraid to be, I'm going to perform and I'm going to perform with honesty and you're going to catch a story or you're not. And I think that, I don't know if that way of moving or that way of expression, he adopted that before he got into Crump, or if his path in Crump helped him unlock that, but the marriage is just there. And I remember saying to him, your way of performing, anyone can get into it. And your understanding of music and the versatility of how you show different textures and stuff in your movement, dude, it's just there. It's just there. So so Gary was great. And then Teo, I guess, reminds me of original Dancing Dame. Yeah. You know, the chest rolls and stuff.
16.
The girls screaming and all of that
16.
stuff. The girls screaming and stuff like that. When I went
girls
to
were screaming.
Yeah. When I went to scout Teo, I'm walking towards him. Yeah, I'm walking towards him. I'm like, yeah, cool. Dude, ready to stop him. Two girls, skirt, coming. Can we get a picture?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. 30 seconds later, you don't even notice. 30 seconds later, I'm the one holding the phone while the three of them in the picture.
So they asked you to be the cameraman. I love it.
They jumped in to take the one that goes doing a selfie. I said, let me just take the photo for you.
Yeah.
So they're just like, I'm like, here you go, Teo. Good to meet you. But yeah, he was great. Very driven, clarity of mind, not flustered in the moment. He's a big time performer. He wants to dance with Chris Brown. That's one of his main goals that he'd like to achieve.
He looks it.
He's got the look, he's got the movement. And I would say that if Chris Brown is somebody he aspires to dance with, the way that he moves now and his approach to dance, the path is
It's there.
Yeah. And it's so nice.
That's good.
And it's so different from Nalini and Gaz in that way. So yeah. They were great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sound like you have a great bunch. What about you, Kumari?
Oh my goodness. Mine was a fun group, actually. First I had Hashna. Thank you. And being she's Tamil, she's Sri Lankan, and being South Asian, also just seeing cultural representation was fab. She's a classical Bharatanatyam dancer who is actually in there's this whole movement of Bharatanatyam dancers who are fusing hip hop, Afro, whacking, and a few other things. But because of the respect and tradition behind learning Bharatanatyam, they're transferring that respect for tradition to the other styles that they're doing,
Wow.
which is rare.
Of course, yeah.
Everybody wants to be a fusion girly.
They do.
They do. But so I have deep respect for how she does it and what she does, because she's not just, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do some hip hop and then I'm going to get back into it. But the hip hop is strong too. Ooh, yeah. Her few Afro steps she had, I was like, who you hanging out with?
Who are your friends?
Where'd you get that from? Right. And it was really impressive. And also she's one of the girlies going viral for doing this.
That's really good.
And so to catch her in person, she's also a Leo too. And to see her personality and to bond with that and to watch her dance and to be able to coach her even more to make memories, it was dope. Their final performance is supposed to be choreographed, but when we were in the green room, she's like, I don't want to do choreography. I'm going to freestyle this whole thing.
Wow.
I said, oh.
And she did that.
She did that.
Wow.
She did that.
2-3 minutes.
And it looked like a very prepared performance.
Oh my gosh.
For 3 minutes. And then my other folks, I had Regan, who was, he's such a little light. That sounds diminishing, but he is a light. And he has great goals and ambitions in life, in theater dance that he wants to accomplish. And his facility is incredible. He's a contemporary dancer, and he also likes to fuse other street styles. And with that, and he has big goals and ambitions. And when he performed, when he battled and he got his song, that was a theater performance. Performance.
Wow.
But when I was watching him, when we were discovering the dancers, he just had something different. And and he had a cool, down to earth attitude and was ready to play the game, and it was cool. And then my third person was Nola, and I discovered her in a class, and she just had a vibe, very earthy. Very rooted, very also she had character and performance, and that was something that was very endearing. And also she's a very groovy dancer.
Right.
She's like, I like to connect to my Congolese roots and get the hips and the openings and the things, but she's a house and hip hop dancer. And so it was nice to see the variety in all of them.
Very, very group.
Very, very interesting. And all of them emote in different ways with their dance. All of them show power, grace, character, in different ways. And it was fun. It was a very diverse bunch. And you know me, I love diversity.
We need diversity. It's really important. It really is. You touched on the battling with one of your mentees just there, Kumari. What kind of mental preparation or preparation in general does an artist need for battle to compete against someone? What is needed?
You better eat some good food. Drink water, mind your business.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I would just say, there's a lot of different things, but I think whatever that breath was, do that before you do anything else.
Down.
One time I went to Sweden, there was a battle, a top rocking battle, and I trained all Christmas. I trained all December. I was outside, putting in work, to go to Stockholm to do this battle in top rock. Po1 was judging. And I remember flying out to Stockholm. I love Stockholm. Flying out, went to the battle, registered, etc., etc. Category came up. How loud is that, Luke? The category came up. They started calling out people. And then they called my name, Tenacious. And I went out. Couldn't hear the music.
Damn.
Couldn't hear the music. The music was playing. Couldn't catch it. And couldn't get it back.
Ooh.
40 seconds later, thank you, Tenacious. I went back to where I was going, where I sat down. And I was just shell-shocked. What happened is, in spite of my preparations, it's hard to prepare for the moment when you've built it you're flying to another country, you've got 40 seconds to get through.
It's big.
where actually the training is, how do I feel in 40 seconds? That's what you want to train.
Yeah.
If you set an alarm to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, put the song on, you know, okay, 40 seconds, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to sleep now, but I know I could do it 3 a.m., whatever. Like,
Right.
training for the moment.
Hardcore.
Just for example.
Right.
But like, I built the anticipation inside so much, I couldn't do what I was actually there to do,
Yeah.
which is just rock on beat. And I can rock.
Yeah.
And so I know that with my mentees, I know I said to all of them in different ways, wait. If you don't know the song, see what happens first. Then you'll know what to do.
Yeah.
Because you have the tools.
Yes.
And to their credit, the three of them did show that.
That's good.
And I was super proud, irrespective of the result, because Kumari and I had to confer on who we thought would win each battle. But watching how they danced, I was like, they're waiting.
Yeah.
And I was super proud of them. So
Yeah.
I think that is important, because I personally burnt myself by going faster than the moment, and I never made it back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Word. You guys are preaching.
Okay.
You guys are preaching.
Because we're elders.
Yeah. No.
Can I just say something before you answer?
Yeah, please.
When you like whisper to the microphone like
You like
this,
that?
you know, in the film The Warriors, you haven't seen The Warriors?
I haven't seen it. No.
In The Warriors, I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. In The Warriors, there's a gang trying to get from one side of New York to the other, down to Staten Island, and they got to fight their way down overnight, fighting gangs everywhere. And their journey is narrated by a mystery female voice on a radio station talking
Microphone
about this.
check.
Yeah. And all you can see is that part of the mouth. All right, hip hoppers. So they're doing this. They're going in.
So they're on 145th Street. Go get them.
That's what it looks like. That window right there is exactly what it looks
Do
like.
you do voiceovers? You need to start doing that.
Yeah. And the shot's even from this side. So where I'm looking, it's like, that's the shot.
No.
Microphone check. Work.
Yeah, sorry, Mari, but it's there.
okay.
It's
okay.
properly there. When you see the clip, you're going to be like,
It makes sense.
yeah.
What was the question?
It was to do with, what do you tell your mentees when they're preparing for battle?
Okay, cool. I told them what I told myself. Ooh la la, which is, you're actually not battling the person in front of you, you're battling yourself. Yeah. Like I said, I have ADHD, and I was diagnosed as a kid, but no one did anything about it. They're just like, all right, you can't pay attention. Cool, be on your way. So I've spent like a majority of my adulthood masking and battling, ooh la la, battling for an ADHD brain. Oh, mic check. For an ADHD brain, or anybody who's neurospicy, is a challenge, because it's getting out of your own head to be able to be present in the moment, regardless of any of the distractions or overstimulation, and to be able to deliver a feeling on a sound in that moment that was made for you. And you might not even like the sound. You might not like the song.
Right.
Like, I've done so many battles where the music was trash, or somebody else got my favorite song and I got one that I'd never heard of in my life. So I'm like swatting flies, fighting for my life. But it's not about, I was telling them, it's not about you, that the other person you're battling is about you. It's about being present in the moment. It's about making memories. It's about being, making moments. Like, whether you win or lose, if you did a moment like the toe thing over the foot pawn shoulder, like, we'll never forget that.
Right.
Pass or fail, if you make a moment, you'll live on rent free in everybody's mind. And I think that's really important for people to remember. Yes, we all want to win.
Yeah.
Yes, the goal is winning, because that is the nature of competition. But beyond that, what are you going to walk away with if you didn't win? Are you going to be that person who slayed every round and was memorable? You know, are you going to be that person who felt really good and gave it their all? Like, there was a moment where our mentees were battling, and I was like, this isn't enough for me. neither of them are giving enough.
Right.
So they had to do a tiebreaker round to a random song, which is fine. But it's like, y'all are battling for coins. Like,
Show it.
a trip to get flued out. Like, show it. Please show it. So, yeah. And then above that, like, I believe in magic. So I was like, just be magical.
Yeah.
Just be magical. Show them your story. Which, again, competition, there's a million different things to factor in a moment to be able to block all of that out and be like, I'm just doing me. That's it. I train for this. I'm here for this. But then again, you never know what kind of factor can come in. Your outfit, you can't hear the music.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But if I'd been told what Kumari told the mentees, I would have heard the music that day.
Really?
Because I would have just been doing my thing. I know I can rock. Damn, come, let them see, let them taste it, let them understand what you do. That's actually what I was there to do. But when you know there's 40 people in a category, you start doing mathematics.
Exactly.
Yes, you doing it.
Like, who's got this skill? How are they doing it?
Right.
I got 18 to beat, 24 to take out. Like,
Yeah.
Versus just like, nah, I'm here. I'm right here. And that has been such a challenge, like, for me in particular. And then it just throws me off. Like, if I'm not in myself and in my body and present in that moment, it's not going to fly. So I just try to give them the same advice I would try and give myself.
And that's a really good word, because they do need to hear it, because you never know when they'll need to use it in a situation. And I'd love to know, like, the balance between, you know, giving criticism, but honest criticism that they won't get offended by. Because that can be a struggle depending on the type of person you are. Like, if you're a young dancer, you love dancing, you're passionate about it, sometimes that criticism can just feel like, well, I'm not good enough. Like, what I'm doing is not good.
May I?
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
I think first and foremost, before you give the criticism, you need to know if that person's receptive to it or not. Because if they were young like us and hungry, it's like, yes, critique me, please. Like, let me know how I need to do it. And I remember myself as a youth feeling like getting some criticism that I didn't like, but knew that it would make me better.
Yeah.
And I think people's sensitivity nowadays is hindering them from getting honest critique and feedback. Because for whatever reason, people like to say, I'm triggered. And I'm not downplaying that at all. However, people are misusing that.
Yes, I agree.
And they're misusing certain, you know, buzzwords right now that are like, oh, you're being a bully, this is abusive. No, this is actual feedback to help you with your life.
It's true.
I mean, you can cross the street without the crossing sign, but good luck. Like, so I think people need to remove the sensitivity and be able to receive.
Yes.
Which is really, really, really difficult before you give feedback. And then I think also giving feedback, if you come from compassion, back to that, and a human approach to putting yourself in their shoes, and we've been in those shoes, so I think we're good at giving people criticism and feedback in a way that's constructive and yet affirming.
Yes.
So that they still feel like, all right, I didn't do a good job. This is what I need to work on. But I know I'm not the pits. I'm not the worst one out here. I know I can be better, and I'm going to keep going. So it's being able to balance all of that.
It's a lot to balance.
It is.
Damien, for you, what's your approach to giving feedback to your mentees? It's a deep one.
I think ensure that they recognize their strengths and that they don't lose their strengths just because somebody else is strong at something else. I think, I mean, for our actual mentees clashing, I did my homework on Kumari's artists. I made notes on them all.
Okay.
And
come on, obstacle course.
Right?
Yeah. I made notes on them all.
Damien ain't playing.
And I wrote down things that I thought there might be holes there that perhaps my artists, but I wrote strengths and weaknesses for all 6 dancers.
Oh, right.
And so depending on who's going to get who,
Yes.
how it might work out or what you might be able to do. And with that in mind, I said to my mentees, here's your strengths. Make sure they see this. Make sure you show that. Or take time with this. Or leave space for that. Or if your music goes first, how are you going to act? I also ask them certain things like, if this happens, what will you do?
Right.
And then if their answer is not conducive to them doing their best, I give them a way of framing that. So actually they can go forth and do their best. One of my mentees said, do you know who's going first? I said, what if you're going first and you're the first person and it's not your music? What will you do?
Right.
And they said, I suppose I'll do this, I'll do that, blah, blah, blah. I said, then that's what you're going to do. You leave space, you wait. And as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the mentees are telling you what they need.
Yes.
And that was one of those occasions when I think about it and I was like, I actually helped that person. And that was really cool.
Yeah, it felt good when they came back and were like, thank you for doing this for me. Thank you for doing that for me. This point really helped. That critique really helped. Then that's also validating for us. Like, yeah, we want to affirm them, but also, yes, we know what we're doing, but it's always nice to get feedback.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just to know that you do know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is correct.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about. Unforgettable moments on Move It, the dance off. We spoke about the leg on the shoulder and the wiggle wig. Any other unforgettable moments? Damien?
There's a few. There's a few. It's been so fun. So fun, so funny. The crew, everyone involved has been just great.
The boy band.
Everyone.
Talk about it.
We have 4 camera guys, all dressed in black. And at one point, they were standing all together with their cameras, and we just kept singing Backstreet Boys to them, hoping that they would start out in choreography.
Yeah. It was the way that they were standing for you. It was so funny. We actually, I gave harmonies to each of them.
Hilarious.
I want you back. They never did it though, but we saw it. So we've lived
you had the vision.
We've lived it without their permission. It was so funny.
And they heard us talking about this because we were mic'd, and so they were over there giggling like,
but we're not gonna do it.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Mari, anything to? We've had a lot of memorable moments. Actually,
there were so many memorable moments. Harshna's final performance for me ate it, and knowing it was a freestyle as well.
Yeah.
And watching the integrity in her dance and her performance. We have, not we, I can't say that I'm I participate and learn and study this dance, but I cannot say that I am a practitioner of this dance, bar natyam. But there's a part of it called abhinaya, which is like the facial expressions where they'll be like, and like give you a look and you're like, she has that so well.
Really?
So she could, and you're like, it just gripped.
Wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful performer. And to watch her live, not on the internet, was incredible. Definitely a major memory.
Yeah, I've got to stay on Hash now, because in the battle, you couldn't tell which music, because each of our competitors had to dance on a song from their own playlist and a song from the opponent's playlist. Yeah. You couldn't tell.
Wow.
Her pacing, poise, usage of space, and lashes.
Lashes.
I am telling
lashes
you.
Lashes were a weapon, bro.
I am telling you. Even in the first 20 seconds, I was like, she's going to be extremely hard to beat. Just because she's everything that I think both of us really admire in artistry. Skill, technique, talent, finely trained, performance, personality, presence, poise. Like,
she's got it.
Yeah, very much that. Very much that.
Wow. Sounds like you guys have had a blast.
We did.
On Move It, the dance off. We're looking forward to watching it.
Yes.
And just seeing all this talent on our screens. You guys have been phenomenal.
Thank you.
T, Damien, Anyasi, Kumari, Suraj. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
The Move It podcast.
Ow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fee.